Welcome. My name is Doug Simcox, and I'm here today. We are in St-Tite at this beautiful studio. First time that I have been in this studio, and I got to tell you, it's beautiful. Jacob, our producer, gave us a thumbs up. He says we're ready to go. I'm here with Sam Swearingen, and we've also got a very special guest with us here today as well. Max Dostie is here with us today. We're going to be talking a little bit about him. He's a podcaster up here in Quebec, and we have got a great show for you today. So Sam and I, and now Max, we're all riding for the brand, BTC Beyond the Chutes, and it is Wednesday, September 13th, and we are on the road again, Sam. I tell you, this is beautiful. We're up here for the 55th annual St-Tite Western Festival. What do you think of it so far, Sam?
This place is just the Woodstock of rodeo. People try to ask me, well, what's it like up there? What's it like? You can't describe it. You have to come see it.
Yeah.
And be prepared.
Yeah.
Because it's a whole different atmosphere. People everywhere just enjoying themselves. I don't know, 400,000, 500,000 people probably come through this town. Oh, they're telling me
1 million this year.
1 million people.
Looking at a million.
Well,
and
God bless them, but they're having fun. You don't see any fights. You don't see nothing.
No.
This is just
enjoyable
themselves.
They shut the town. They shut the streets down. I mean, there's stands everywhere, Sam. There's food everywhere, Max.
There's drinking in the streets and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And how big is St-Tite when it's not in festival?
It goes from 3,000 people to about 1 million people.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I seen. For some reason, when I was pulling up directions to get here, like I haven't been here enough, I got to get directions, but I came from a different place. So it said the town had 3,880 people.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay. So, wow. Can you imagine, right?
So, yeah, can you imagine trying to get a parking spot, a house, or something? It's fantastic.
Yeah. And our host, we can't leave out our host, Sylvain Bourgeois, director of the Rodeo, the Western Festival. Sam, how long have you known Sylvain?
Oh, I probably met Sylvain about the mid-'80s.
Mid-'80s.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, and he was just starting to ride. And tomorrow, I believe, we're going to have an opportunity to bring him in studio, and we're going to find out what's going on up here.
Yeah, Sylvain has great insight in the rodeo world, and we've done a lot of things for each other through the years.
You bet. Stock contractor now, and
yeah, he with the Wild Time Rodeo, and we've worked out. I must have had 40 horses up here of mine at his place when he started.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, one thing that's really cool about this village here is coming here off season, like in the middle of summer when the festival is 2 months away. You just drive into town, and for a few miles, there's only fields with electric poles everywhere because of the camping. It's the biggest RV meeting in Canada. There's so much RVs, it's crazy. So you come off festival, and the fields are just... You'd see wheat in the fields or anything. No, here it's just grass with electric poles and everything. It's crazy. It's weird. You'd never see that.
I'll be darned. Getting ready for the campers to come to town.
Yeah.
Wow. How very, very cool. Before I go any further, I do need to introduce Sam for all of our listeners, of course. Reintroduce Sam, 2 times North American Rodeo Commission Saddle Bronc riding champion, IFR qualifier several times over, several times APRA champion, and several times competitor here at the St-Tite Rodeo. Sam, when did you first come up here?
Yeah, I was doing the math, Doug.
Okay.
You asked me what year I came up here. Well, probably before most people were born. I competed in the bull riding here in 1974.
1974. So you would have been
14 years old.
14 years old. Who brought you up here?
My brother Mike.
Okay. Mom and Dad knew you were coming up?
Yeah. They knew I was coming. It's just back then it didn't matter. You just went and did. It's not like today where you worry about where your kids are at and call me, let me know, I see you got hurt, what happened. You just went. When you got back, you seen them.
Okay.
And, to see the change when our contestants, it was 2 performances in the afternoon, and you parked right where we are sitting. This is where the contestants parked, was
Okay.
on this side of
Okay.
the arena.
Yeah.
So the change is pretty drastic over the few years that I've been here.
Yeah. I mean, we walked through this building. What a complex.
Right here, this building?
No,
That was probably a school here, this building.
you park between the parking lot
Where the big tent is?
where the livestock is housed now.
Yeah.
Right there was
Whoa.
the parking for the contestants.
Whoa.
You didn't have to walk way up the hill and have rides
By
come
the
pick you
stables
up.
down there, yeah.
Yeah. They were just starting to move that way with the horses because it was getting too crowded here for them. But, yeah, I mean, we were right here at the buck and shoot area.
Oh, wow. Okay, 1974. And then what are some of the standout years, Sam, that you remember?
Well, and I don't know how much you want to get into that. Of course, the most standout year was 9/11.
Yeah.
I was up here when 9/11 hit.
Okay.
And that's the most.
Okay.
And I don't know, that's probably for another day.
Yeah.
But there was a hurricane came in where the flood, we had to feed the horses, put the hay in the canoe and roll them out to the hill. And the campers a lot of them got out, but there was some that didn't. And it would be like them big buses, it was up over their windows.
Oh, wow. Really?
It was a disaster, a real disaster. Didn't know if they were going to be able to have the rodeo, but what they did to do it, we got the livestock loaded, and they had a tractor with the bucket that they were drive down the roads and push the water away so they could drive the trucks in, and it ruined some transmissions and stuff later on.
Oh, wow. Okay, everything got wet. Yeah.
And,
My goodness.
my information man, Mark Richmond, was in front of me on the tractor, and I was driving a load of stock, and he's waving, follow me. And
Pushing the water out of your way.
pushing the water out of the way, and next thing he goes bloop down in one of those big ditches. He had to crawl out the back, the light's still on the top, the tractor going.
Gosh.
Oh, God, it was hilarious.
wow.
Not at the time it wasn't funny, but now you get a good laugh.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
Because they have ditches, because it's so flat here,
Yeah.
6-8 foot deep all around, and he drove off because there was just water everywhere.
Okay. Well, it's great to be up here on this 55th. You not only competed, but you also stock contractor up here, and you brought the boys up here. The whole Rawhide Rodeo crew came up here as competitors.
When I first brought stock up, I just had started putting on rodeos, and Pierre was the rodeo chairman then. I don't remember his last name, but he came to a rodeo I was doing in Attica, New York, and asked if I'd bring stock up here. Of course, I've been there, and I said, well, I'll have to check in the border stuff, and I didn't know I knew we could get horses across, but the bulls, that was another challenge.
Okay.
And we got it all worked out, and I probably brought stock up here for 30 years.
30 years.
I don't know for sure, but
Yeah.
And the bulls, we brought them in to test them on. I just had bought a lot of new bulls, and they were young, and they were pretty good. And we tested them. I said, now, to the vet, I said, what do they do if they test positive to any of this stuff? He said, well, we'll have to get rid of them.
Oh, wow.
I said, whoa, wait a minute. Let me bring some different ones in here. Let's try these ones first and see what happens.
Yeah.
So, but we got it all done. Got across the border. It is the border's a real pain with livestock. Mm-hmm. You got to have every dot right, T crossed, and if you don't, they can say,
If you're missing one signature, you're done. You gotta go get it. Or...
Yeah, you get it or you don't go.
Yeah, exactly.
I brought broncs up for probably the first bronc riding school they had in May when Dan Mortensen did it. And I told the guy, he said, what are you going up there for? And I said, well, a school, rodeo school. He said, not a rodeo. I said, no, a rodeo school. He said, okay, you got to pay tax on these animals. I had to pay tax to get the horses up there because rodeos are tax exempt.
Oh,
you're
my.
coming up and bringing them back. And I was bringing them back.
Yeah.
But I
Some reason the school tripped it.
different word.
Different word.
Yep.
And you had to pay taxes.
I had to pay tax on the horses. He said, well, now they'll be good forever going up and back. And like, I'm going to keep the paperwork, you know?
Right, right.
So, yeah, it's little things like that that make it difficult to do business across the border.
Yeah. And so you've brought up the boys. You brought up Colton. You brought up Dalen. They both competed up here. Do you remember anything about how that all went?
Yeah. The thing that stands out the most, Dalen, he was in all 3 rough stock events here.
Okay.
He was probably 15 or 16.
Oh, wow.
And he did really good in the bronc riding, but he blew a stirrup right at the whistle. He's going to do very well. And he had a real good bareback horse of mine. And he went out there and he rode him about 6. The flank came off.
Oh, geez.
And so after it's over, I'm kind of mad at myself because I didn't tape the flank and do things right. And I walk in Sylvain's office and he throws me a roll of tape. Didn't say nothing.
Yeah.
He just threw me a roll of tape.
Yeah.
Because Dalen was going to win it running away.
Yeah.
And I ran the same horse back in there and he was about half as good as what he did. So from that day on, I said, well, I'll never never say never, but highly unlikely that I'll turn around and run another one back in there. And if it hadn't been Dalen, I probably wouldn't have done it. I don't want to say this out of, but he was a good horse. It takes it out of them. That's what they're bred for, and you turn them back to pasture. And so it was a mistake. I've made lots of them in my life.
Yeah.
A mistake you don't make a second time.
Right. Hopefully.
Never
say never, but
never say
hopefully.
Never. Yeah. So let's shift here a little bit. We got this special guest with us here in the studio, this beautiful studio, Max Dostie. He's out of Granby with a B.
Yeah.
Quebec, about an hour east of Montreal, and he's the host of the podcast Grange, Rodeomax.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about your podcast.
So here I do this podcast here. To most people that don't know, Quebec speaks mostly French, so my podcast is mostly in French.
Yeah.
We got rodeo full season here, a few contractors, a few producers. We got about 70 shows, 70 perf during the summer, and I try to interview people. I got into rodeo and I didn't know nothing. I didn't grow up in rodeo or anything. So I thought, what's the best way to learn about people? And, you go to a show and you don't go, hey, guys, sit with me. Tell me about you.
Right.
You don't do that, right?
Right.
But I want to learn about people. So I thought, hey, podcasting, that'd be good. So set up microphones and we start recording and this way, I got to learn about people. I can share what I learn about them, and you just improve. So that's what the podcast is about. Not just talking to big headliner names.
Yeah.
But when I do, I like to know how did you grow up? Did you grow up on a farm? Did you grow up in town? Because a lot of people in Quebec are not. Their upbringing is not rodeo. Like me, I didn't even knew there was rodeos in Quebec before I saw a documentary on TV and starting doing my research.
Okay.
So I just thought, why not? Why don't ask them and see where people are from and how they got there.
Yeah. So how did you get? I know you watched something on TV.
Yeah.
But you got involved in rodeo, right?
Yeah.
Did I hear bullfighter?
Yeah. I used to. I was not good, but I loved it. I used to fight bulls a bit in Quebec. I did freestyle bullfighting here mostly. I did some protection in the mid-states. I worked a bit in Ontario, but I just loved the game more than I was able to play it, let's say it like that.
Yeah.
And I got involved into rodeo. So like I said, I saw a documentary on TV about it. Found the Festival Western of St-Tite was putting on a school in May. They still do every year. And I showed up, saw my first bull. I had never seen a real buck and bull before. Saw my first bull, and 45 minutes later, I was in the arena, and they told me, "Yeah, so when the guy falls, you just jump in there, grab the horns, and that's it." It was like, what?
That was the instruction.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, and that's like, I don't know, 15 years ago, but yeah. And I tried. I was really bad at it at first because I knew nothing about it. I didn't have any count sense or anything of that. But yeah, I got hooked. The adrenaline rush. There's nothing like it.
Okay.
Just the adrenaline. And then I tried to make a spot for me. There was not much in protection business. Then they started Dominic Raw, the bullfighter here in St-Tite. He started doing freestyle shows, and I got involved in that. I was not that good, but I was a bit crazier than most. I tried doing backflips over bulls.
Oh my, backflips.
Yeah, and the word to remember is I tried.
Yeah.
And
so tell us of some of your adventures. Number one, you tried a backflip over a bull more than once?
Yeah, twice.
Twice?
Once up north and once back here in St-Tite.
And landed successfully both times?
I landed both times. That's about it.
On your feet with your hands in the air?
Yeah, I had my hands up over my head, but it wasn't in the air.
It wasn't. Okay.
But I tried it once. I had seen a video. Like, if you go back 10, 15 years ago, there was no let's say BFO or any of those guys videos on YouTube. There was a few about Ross Hill or anything that do that backflip where he'd throw himself, his back land on the back of the bull and raise his knees and have him complete the backflip. I thought, well, that's easy. Let's do that. So I tried it, but I forgot the part where I would lift my legs. So he just caught me in the legs and sent me flying.
Oh, my goodness. My goodness. So you didn't end up on your back, the way it was originally intended?
Yeah, not really.
Not really. Did you practice backflips before you got in the arena, just doing a standing backflip? No.
I'm a big, tall guy.
I see that. So what are you, 6'2"?
6'2", yeah.
Yeah.
I was a bit thinner back then.
Yeah.
But I didn't try. I was just a bit crazier. I was just looking at the end goal and not thinking about what's in between.
And to be really, really clear, what was the end goal?
I thought when I think about it nowadays, I'm like, I'm not sure what was the end goal anymore.
Oh, that's it. Now I would get it if you practice doing a backflip off the gate, off the fence, landing on your feet, got pretty good. You did that?
I did. Actually, no, I didn't even do that. I didn't want to hurt myself landing.
Oh, yeah. Why would you want to injure yourself?
I did it in the pool, off the deck in the pool.
In the pool, and how'd that work?
Okay. It was okay. I don't know. I had my ears, my eyes closed. So
now, how did you know when to jump? When the bull, you got your back to the bull.
Yeah.
I'm trying to set this up.
You kind of look back. I don't know.
Looking over your shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you have to adjust left and right a bit?
No, I just went with it. The first time I tried was an exhibition I was doing because let's say they have a show and they have they signed for 3 bullfighters and one gets hurt. So I fought the day before. I'm still there. Okay, I'm gonna go in, and I always said, if I don't win, I'm gonna be the one people remember. I'm gonna do the show. Yeah. People seem to remember still nowadays.
Okay, so you sold the show for them, basically.
Yeah, I did. And that year, I broke my fibula. I broke my my elbow. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I tried the backflip with the broken fibula. It broke it again.
Wow.
Okay, Doug.
Were you all padded up? I mean, you got flak jack, you got everything on? No pads?
I had pads, but yeah, I broke my fibula at the school here, beginning of the year.
Yeah.
And you can't put a cast on a broken fibula because
You can't.
of all like the muscles attached to it and everything would
Really?
be that useful. So the doctor told me the pain will be your gauge.
Yeah.
I thought, hey, freestyle's coming.
Yeah.
I have no pain. Adrenaline comes in, so
Yeah.
I'll be okay.
Yeah.
So I barely was able to run at that point, but for the freestyle, the adrenaline had kicked in, so I was okay.
Okay.
But I kind of broke it back for 3 more weeks of staying in bed all day because
Really?
yeah.
Off your really that kind of rest to let it heal up because you can't put a cast on it.
No, they can't because it would just compress your muscles and
Okay.
and everything, so they can't really.
Holy cow! Holy
Okay, for our wonderful listeners out there,
I was crazy.
Yeah.
remember when I say practice perfect?
Yes.
That isn't practice.
No,
perfect.
no.
Let me tell you.
No.
That's what I'm trying to eliminate with you guys.
That's right.
Practice.
Practice. Practice. yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But that's the thing up here with Mexican Fighting Bull. We don't have that much the infrastructure to do practice. We don't have that much Mexican Fighting Bull. We like Manu Latas up here in Saint-Tite has some nowadays, but we didn't have that much of him, and we couldn't like practice freestyle like you guys would do it in the States.
Yeah, yeah.
With the same stock or
Okay.
smaller stock, so we didn't have like heifers to practice with. We
Okay.
had only so my freestyle bullfighting career was 6 bulls a summer, and like the real deal, no practice, nothing.
No practice. Okay. And how many years did you do this?
5 or 6, I think.
Really?
But like I said, I was never good. I was just stupid. I would never do it with the knowledge I have nowadays.
Really? You wouldn't get back in?
Oh,
What?
sorry, I can't.
No.
I can't swear
is
in
French.
American. Yeah.
No. You
No,
wouldn't.
I wouldn't. It's crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy. I wouldn't do it anymore.
Okay.
But for some reason, I got invited to do a show here in Saint-Tite, and that's the second time I tried a backflip. I started the fight, and I still seem to remember the gate when they opened it, catching like some mud and getting stuck there, and I was already trying to get a lead on the bull, and at some point, like the bull didn't exit properly, so I'm too far to the right to actually give a lead to the bull.
I
So
see. I see.
got smoked right off the
Holy cow!
the hook.
And smoked is a professional bullfighting term. What's it mean to get smoked?
I'm not sure. I'm just saying it like I mean.
Smoke means to get run over.
Get run over.
Run over.
Okay. Okay.
And yeah, he smoked me right off the beginning of the fight, and it went bad. But at the end, I had said,
Yeah.
if I don't win, I'm gonna make the show. So
Okay.
at the end, the bull was coming towards me, and I was like, F-word it. I thought
yeah,
about it
that's
this time.
good.
I'm learning.
You are. You are.
And yeah, I said, yeah, okay. I'm turned around, and he's coming. Look in the back, and let's just do it. And 7,000 people in Saint-Tite. The crowd just
went crazy.
crazy. So
And-
funny to talk about it on the news the next day.
That was the show.
I was like, hey, he talked about me on the news.
That's very cool. That's very cool. And this Saturday,
Yep.
a few days from now, is what they call the 11th rodeo, which they do normally 10 shows up here over the
10
10
days,
days.
10 shows in Saint-Tite.
Right. And on the anniversary, the 5-year anniversary, and this year is the 55th anniversary, we've got the PBR Canada tour is coming to town. The rodeo starts at 11:30 at night. and some Mexican events, which are bull jumping.
Yeah, Manuel Latas, which is a bull jumper that's known in the States. He's going to put on that. He has friends coming over. I think in French they're called écarteurs, which in English might translate to splitting. Those guys, they run towards Mexican bull. They're gonna jump and land their feet like, I don't know, the bull is like has lowered his head. He's gonna be like 4 feet away, and they just step to the side, arch their back, and the bull just get through.
Oh wow!
A video of it, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Videos are crazy about that. It's really crazy. I can't wait. That's gonna be the summum of this year's festival for me. I just can't wait to see it.
Yeah, and for our listeners, describe. Sam talked about it's a lot like Woodstock when you come up here, right? We stood up on the stage, right?
Yep.
With have all the bleachers on it now as we came in. Big sound, lots of speakers, tons of music through it all. What's a Saturday night at 11:30? Packed house, which seats how many people?
About 7,500, I think.
Okay. What's a packed house 11:30 at night in St-Tite with the rock and roll?
I'd say just imagine college football in the States. One of those college with the big entrance. I think it Virginia Tech that plays AC/DC.
Yeah.
At the beginning.
Yeah.
Just imagine that's St-Tite with 7,500 people. Here it's hard to explain it to people how crazy Quebecers get with rodeo. We don't have. It's not as present for us as it is for Americans.
Yeah.
So we get crazy about it, and we use not just country, rock gets into it and everything. People, obviously like the drinks and the stands is pretty much present, but yeah, we get crazy. We love rodeo. It's gonna be one hell of a show, that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. And Sam and I will be here tomorrow night, so we get to watch the show. It's been 23 years since I saw a performance here at the festival. So I'm excited. A friend of ours, Brinson James, is here, rodeo entertainer. You've interviewed him in the past.
Yeah, I did.
And he loves this place up here, right?
Yeah. Last year, I did a video. It's available on the Festival Western page on YouTube. And last year, I asked Brinson because he was talking at some point. He said, Brinson, he said that was his favorite show. So I asked him point blank, I feel like headliners at shows say that in every town. He said, no, because that'd be a lie.
Yeah.
He said, Festival Western St-Tite. He said, I've been in Australia. I've been all over the States. I've been in Western Canada. St-Tite, Quebec is his favorite show of the whole year.
Okay. Well, we get to watch him tonight. I'm excited about that. And before we go any further, I want to say thank you to ParaSight Systems, our sponsor. And Sam, brand new shirts for this show as we take BTC on the road. What do you think of the new shirts?
It's hard to make me look good, Doug, but I'm styling today.
You're styling. And remember, that's ParaSight Systems, site like SIGHT. Coupon code BTC023 for 50% off your kits. And Sam, I got kits at the house, 5 of them like you've asked for. We're going to be sending them up. We're going to be testing your broncs. We're going to be testing your cattle.
Yeah, I got... Actually, I sold most of the feeder cattle, and I got new ones coming in, so this will be just right timing.
Okay. And, we've been talking about great shirts. I think they turned out neat. We're also working on coffee cups and stickers.
I want a sticker.
Are stickers a big deal
I actually
up here?
want a shirt. It's pretty neat.
Do you like this shirt?
I want this shirt.
ParaSight on my right side, the BTC logo.
Yeah.
Styling.
I'm going to pay to buy that shirt off your back. Is that good? Do you have a replacement?
Well, what's neat is it's got snaps, not buttons. It's a Wrangler shirt, right? Nothing but Wrangler.
Yep.
So I can take it off like Superman, and I'll autograph it for you. How about that?
Works.
Oh,
That
wow.
works.
He says, no, wait a minute.
Wait, can Sam autograph too?
Yes,
No,
absolutely.
it's not against you, but
No doubt.
Somebody knows my name. Usually
No.
it's my brother or my boy, but thank you. Merci beaucoup.
voilà, in French. That shows you've been in Quebec a few times. So
few
Oh,
times.
few
you
times.
learn French more than that?
No,
No.
I tried, but it doesn't work.
And Sam, as we get started here, bring us up to speed on Kane, your niece Jody's son.
Yeah, we did the benefit for him. It went fabulous.
Nice.
Just the people that came out and gave their time and finances to help the family. It's just wonderful. His mother is talking to doctors in Boston Children's Hospital.
In Boston now.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're gonna. I guess Boston is the best hospital for this Moya disease.
Okay. Yeah.
And so they're gonna give her an answer Thursday what they think they should do.
I
They've
see.
already had the meetings and the sit down up
Nice.
there, but they're gonna meet with her, and she's a physician's assistant, so she's got a little bit of knowledge.
You
but
bet. You bet.
this is my brother-in-law that's a doctor. It's very difficult
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they say, and I'll keep you posted. But the people have been wonderful what they've gave.
Perfect. And how is Kane? Is he in school? How's he feeling?
He's in school, and I'm not saying he's a normal young 7-year-old,
Yeah.
but he is doing well.
Okay.
I guess. I didn't get to go to the Oklahoma City PBR, so I didn't see him there to see, until he had the seizure, you would have never known anything different
Yeah.
than a normal kid. But
Yeah.
now I think things are coming back, but I don't think they're perfect yet.
Okay. Okay. Well, prayers and thoughts are with him and with the family and everything that's going on.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. Yeah. And we want to thank the community. What a great outpouring of with the GoFundMe and the auction that was online and this benefit you're talking about. So thank you to all of our listeners that participated.
Yes, thank you so much, people. It was amazing, and we bucked the horse that I put into the sale for him.
That Mark Green bought.
Yeah,
You bucked him.
Yeah, we finally bucked him, and he did well.
He did well.
Yeah, showed a lot of potential. So
Good. Good.
and I pretty much knew he would, but
Yeah.
till you do it, you don't know.
Yeah,
So,
that's for sure. That's for sure. Well, that was awfully generous of you, and very interesting. You put a bronc in there. That's pretty cool.
yeah, that's what I had.
That's what you had. Absolutely. So shifting up through, how is Dalen? Of course, we're talking about groin, shoulder now, hips, just a little bit of everything. How is he feeling?
Yeah, I think he said his shoulder is sore he rode last weekend in Oklahoma City, rode his first one, rode outstanding.
He did.
Made a great bull ride. Got on the second one, it looked to me like it beat him out of the box, but not so bad where he didn't catch up. And he landed, bucked him off at about 5, landed on the back of his head, and I thought he had a concussion or something, and I seen he wasn't riding the next day, and I couldn't get a hold of anybody to tell me what was going on. And come to find out, he called me on the way home Sunday and said that he hurt his shoulder.
Hurt his shoulder. No concussion.
No concussion. Went to the doctors Monday to Tandy Freeman in Dallas Monday, and they said it doesn't require surgery.
Yeah.
So, but knowing Dalen, it's pretty sore. If he says
Yeah.
it's sore,
Yeah.
it's sore.
It's
'cause
sore, certainly.
He doesn't say boo about hurt.
Yeah. Yeah. And we'll get into the schedule here in a little bit, and we'll maybe get your ideas of when we might see him again. But to your point, what a great ride Friday night. Just looks so solid. Just looks so strong.
Yeah, look like the normal Dalen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And then we last time we talked, he was leading the King of the North series. And the question I posed was, because second place and third place were all on teams, as Dalen is, would they be allowed to get off and compete and be able to go up there and compete in the King of the North Series? And I see that he has now shifted to second place because the number 2 guy who's on the team, he is vaulted into the lead now with about a 300-point lead.
Yeah. I don't know how that works because I don't think if he's sore and that's in 2 weeks, so he won't ride there.
Right.
And I don't know if you don't ride there, if you get anything or not. I know second place pays $25,000, first pays $100,000. He won the $100,000 last year, but and he was off a month, so it really doesn't matter. You just got to get healthy and go from there.
You bet. And then speaking of the teams, they were in Oklahoma City last weekend, and Arizona Ridge Riders go 3 for 3 to win the Oklahoma Freedom Fest, and they moved to number 6 in the standings, going 7-9 on this season. What stood out for me as I watched this event, Sam, we had talked about. I'd asked you what your team coaching philosophy was. How do you keep your team members healthy? All the money that's available, all the points that are available, and keeping them healthy. I said that, but how to keep it all in balance. And I asked what your team coaching philosophy was. And the Carolina Cowboys, when I look at this, the number of outs that they had, I believe there were 9 different Cowboys that got on bulls at Oklahoma. And I hadn't seen that. We hadn't seen that kind of switch ups, if you will, where Dalen got on 2 bulls, Cladson Rodolfo got on 2 bulls, Boudreaux got on 2 bulls, and then everybody else. There were a lot of players in this, and it surprised me that they brought up the reserved riders and that sort of thing. So thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think some of the guys that weren't the top and some that were the top, like Frost and everybody, is out at other events that they were going to, and that eliminated them. But it just goes to show you how these bulls are week in and week out. It just punishes you.
Yeah.
It punishes you. And they to have 9 different guys ride on a team of 5.
Yeah.
For the 3 days, it just, it's a proof in the pudding. It's tough.
So let me ask the question then again. I'm gonna rephrase the question. So if you're this deep into the season, you've got people that are injured. Do you simply shift to your substitutes? Doesn't matter what your record is, other than you get buys in the first round when you go to Vegas. The 2 top teams, I'd get buys, correctly?
Correct.
But it's a team tournament. My record doesn't matter other than the seeding and the buys in the first round. Am I reading this right?
Yeah, your record doesn't matter. I think financially it matters how you win on the weekend and where you can go.
Yeah.
How much money you make. But if your goal is to win the championship, you set them guys aside till they're completely ready to go.
Yeah.
Because there's no doubt in my mind the Carolina Cowboys have the best team.
Yeah.
On paper.
Yeah.
By far. But if they're not healthy, you're not going to be the best team.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting scenario, but I would definitely get them healthy. And I think Jerome is very much in that same mindset, their coach, because, when Dalen bucked off 3 weeks ago, he just said, "You're hurt." Dalen told me, "Oh, I'm good. Jerome said, "You're hurt, rest it." And he came back really good with his hip and now his shoulder. So
yeah.
I think Jerome is in that mindset. Let's get him right so that we can go play the big game.
Yeah.
And I really don't think anybody can compete with them because they got 5 guys they can put on that roster that ride better than anybody.
You bet.
If they're not healthy, it doesn't matter.
Right.
But if they're healthy, I think they're there.
Yeah.
I got a question about that. How, as competitors, their relationship with their coach, they're used to riding hurt, and then now they have a coach, they have replacements and everything. How do cowboys approach that? Where they might be like told, you have to go on the sideline. There's somebody else where their whole life they've been, I'm hurt, I'm used to it, I'm gonna do my best anyway.
And you're exactly right. That's been their mentality. But just like you said, you didn't have any help. You didn't have anybody to tell you. And if you were doing it now, older and wiser, you'd do it different or you wouldn't do it. So. And it's just like me telling the boys, I can tell them till I'm blue in the face, and yeah, Dad, you dumb old guy, But when the coaches tell them, you're going to get right because you're not helping us if you're riding hurt. Number one, you're not staying on. Number two, you're going to not get any better. So let's heal you up, and that brings a lot of the mentality in there, And they're figuring it out very fast.
Yeah,
The changing of what's happened in the past year is just immense.
It is. In the old days, and your point is absolutely spot on, Max. In the old days, it didn't matter if you were winning the rodeo. If they offered you a re-ride,
you took it.
You took the re-ride. Okay? That's just been the mentality.
Unless you're 28 points.
Unless you're 28 points and no one else is ridden, right? And you're the last guy to go. But seriously, the mentality is, of course, you take the re-ride, right? However, the coaches now who are retired bull riders themselves are saying, no, that gives us a score, and we might only win by the 60 points, right? But they're doing the businessman approach to it is what we're seeing. So to your point of changes.
Yeah. And that mentality, you gotta be tough and go. That you don't have to be in this. There's somebody that can take your place.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
That day.
Yeah.
If you're hurt, heal up.
Yeah.
And it'll even get better as it goes.
Yeah. And to your point, Max, what we have seen is there's a certain number of bull riders that I think absolutely positively benefit from the team aspect because they have a coach. More importantly, or as importantly, the coach decides which bull they're going to get on. So if they're a right-hand riding bull rider, put them on a right-hand spinning bull, odds increase of their rides. And we've seen certain riders, Marcus Mast, who has just risen to the top in the team, where in the individual, where there's a higher percentage, he's not going to get on that bull that fits him.
Yeah.
Also, my other question towards that is, it must help. I can't wait to actually see, like in 10 years, how the careers of the guy will get longer and longer because of all those times they ride hurt and now they have time to recover, no?
Yeah.
And it's not just with what you said, because they ride hurt, they recover. Their eating is better.
Yes.
Their workout is better.
Yes.
Their knowledge that, you get from Jerome Davis.
Yes.
From and a person that's been there and done that. Now they're listening to them instead of like you're going from where to where by yourself, David. You know how far that is? Well, you'd have done that when you were a kid. Yeah, but I learned from it.
Right.
So,
right. 20 hours of driving or whatever.
You're going to Pecos, Texas, and then he went down there. What are you, crazy?
Yeah.
But the knowledge in every aspect, it'll make it better. Not just the riding, not sore.
Yeah.
Getting on the bull that fits you.
Yeah.
That's going to be the biggest part.
You bet.
Look at Savano.
So then going down this road, is it possible, I realize as a competitor, I'm better as a team player because of the riding percentages and everything that benefit from the conditioning, everything, the advice, the constant feeding from my coach. do I become a team only guy and sit out or go do something else during the individual of the PBR?
And that is a $1 million question. And I think they might have to work that out, because if you're in the top 40 in the PBR, you are contracted.
You got to be there.
If you're healthy, you got to be there, because they can tell the people in the stands who's going to be there. They can follow them. You know, what they have done, how they built this, not just the team, but the PBR overall, is great. It's so much better than rodeo. You can have a rodeo, like even here, St-Tite, you can't say that who's coming.
Yeah.
You know,
Guaranteed
you
they're
might
going to be
know 2
here.
weeks ahead of time.
You bet.
But the PBR, the top 40's going to be there if they're healthy.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that keeps them from going. So that, and maybe it is already set up that you only have to ride teams. But if right now, if you're a PBR and you're in the top 40, you have to go to the PBRs.
Right. Because you can do the inverse. You can only ride individual and opt out of teams if you want to. Correct? Not required to be.
Right. You don't have to go for the
Don't
draft.
have to go be on a team.
Right.
Okay. And I still have my individual status and can still continue to compete. I think it's interesting. I think we want to watch this as this evolves. And it's constantly evolving, right?
Evolving rapidly.
Evolving rapidly.
It's like your cell phones.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
what happened to the bag phone I had when I started? You know?
Absolutely.
The flip phone, and look at it now.
Absolutely. And this weekend, the 15th through the 17th, they are going to be at Rodeo, Missouri, that great outdoor stadium that was built down there. That's going on this weekend. And then in another week, they're going to be in Greensboro, North Carolina for the Cowboy Days. Of course, Carolina Cowboys, September 22nd and 24th. Are you thinking about going down?
I was definitely going to go if Dalen's riding.
Yeah.
If he's not riding, I probably won't go.
Okay. How far is that from the house for you?
Maybe 12 hours.
12 hours. Okay. So you'll go down if he's there. Well, we'll be interested to see how he's feeling and be great to see him back into it. Do you think he'll just go and represent since he's on the team?
I think he will.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's their home event.
You bet.
And Dalen doesn't like to leave the house if he's not riding, but I think it's probably a mandatory. Not that he wouldn't go if he was asked, but I think, it's their home event, so he probably will
You bet.
go and sign autographs and get in a race car and all that.
Oh, yeah,
stuff.
for sure. Love that NASCAR connection.
How do the locals, like the cities of the team, take it to have a team of bull rider? It's a new concept. How do Dalen feels about it? Feels like the outpour of people, their thoughts on it?
Well, if you have a team that you like and you go to it live, it is incredible. It now, like here at St-Tite, they don't know anybody. They just are there to enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
Now imagine having a team of 5 guys that you can cheer for, every one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like a football game. You see guys taking their shirts off and swinging them around and booing the other team that rides against their team.
Oh, yeah.
In the replay, because the PBR has replay. And I mean, they really pay attention. Is he going to slap? They start cheering if he made it.
Really?
If the competitor, your competitive team, if the rider slaps the bull at 7.9 seconds, the crowd is excited because the home team just beat them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whoa. that brings something really new to bull riding.
It does. And I got to tell you, I was not on the bus last year when they announced it. I just doesn't make sense. But on our podcast, we talk wrestling, right? And this is as close as I've been able to get to an analogy of this. In high school wrestling, right? They have an individual champion every year, and they'll have a team champion.
Yeah.
Okay. And in Michigan, when we lived in Michigan, they actually had 2 different weekends. Here's the individual championship weekend, right? I might be the only one that qualified off the team, However, my team might have qualified into it for the following weekend, and maybe we can go win a team championship.
Okay.
So it's really interesting. And to Sam's point, when I was in Nashville and they won the 2022 team championship in Nashville, by the way, coming from the bottom of the standings, okay, which is what fuels my question I keep asking. They came from the bottom of the standings, but when it's a home team now, and I was in Nashville live, you could feel it.
Yeah.
You could absolutely feel it when they're introducing the Nashville guys, and then their competitors, and the boos in the crowd. You know, you got something.
It is live. It is incredible, and the more you do it, you know, the more they get into it. Like if they get to be interested enough to go to the finals in Las Vegas to see it. Now, which, granted, 99% of them aren't going to do that, but there are some that will and cheer for their team.
Yep.
It you know, it's going to get better and better every time.
Yeah.
I guess production-wise, it must be cool, even for like the fans. Any other bull riding event, you could ask them to be positive on everything and cheer on everything. Versus now, you ask them to have an opinion.
Yes.
And to participate and share their opinion.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got it. It's and we're seeing that. And this is just the second year in, you know, Nashville.
Right. And yeah. And that's also just like the cell phones, just keeps changing and evolving.
Yeah, for sure.
It's yeah. I wasn't against the team thing. I was really for it. I didn't know how it'd go over.
For sure.
But
I remember.
Was for the contestants. I could see what it would do for the longevity, for training somebody that rides a bull to the left so good.
Yeah.
Now let's work on the other side and build up how to be good that way while you're doing this. And I just seen so much positive in it for the contestants.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. And, you know, we're not far away. We are coming up on a month away from the team championships, which are going to be in Las Vegas on October 20th through the 22nd. Ask it again. You going to Vegas?
I'll go to Vegas. Definitely at Dalen's riding. I'll probably go anyway.
Yeah.
And if I was a betting man, I bet Dalen won't get on till then.
Okay.
Jerome will probably say, "Why chance it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
If you can be ready in a month, if the doctor says, you know, if you do this, and this, and Dalen will exercise and work out and do it, because he will. And if he says he can be ready, why chance it? I think he would do that."
So team actually put players on the side to aim for the big championship in Vegas and everything like that?
I don't know if they have put them on the side for that.
On
but
the side, but if they're not healthy or 100%?
I'm sure they will. You know,
Okay.
I'm 99% sure. You know, if you got a chance to win the championship or just get there and compete, you're going to do what you can do. We're all winners.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
we don't like losing.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all evolving, as we've said. It's all changing. Now, here's another wrinkle, though. Money. There's a lot of money available for these guys at these weekend events, right? You still got 4 more weeks coming up of teams events. And I'm going to throw this out there. In the MVP race, right, the most valuable player race, there is an MVP of every event.
Yep.
And that pays $10,000 an event on top of everything else that you do.
On top of everything else you win that weekend.
Everything else that you win.
$10,000 bonus.
You bet. $10,000. By being the top guy, you got to be on the top team of one of the two teams, typically. 2 teams are tied. Who's going to win?
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking for the ride-off.
For the extra outs, yeah.
Right. Yeah, typically that's what's going to happen, but it's just like wrestling. If you were the man, the only man on your team to ride all 3 bulls and really do well, you could very well easily win the MVP
Absolutely.
of that event.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the MVP pays $100,000 at the end of the year in the standings. So here is my question. Austin Gamblers hold the number 1 and number 2 spot in the MVP race right now. Jose Vitor Lemmy has a 91 and 3/4 point lead over his teammate, Dalton Castle. Now, okay, remember, you got to keep them healthy. You got to go for the team championship. You got to keep them happy. There's a lot of money. How do you balance it all, Sam? How do you balance Castle and Lemmy on any given weekend?
Well, Lemmy's their star.
Okay.
And you make him be your star.
Okay.
You know, he's going to get the bull he wants, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, Dalton, outstanding rider, but you've built the whole program around Lemmy. So
Yeah.
you're going to try to keep him happy. You know, it's like having 2 outstanding quarterbacks.
Yeah.
One's a good running quarterback, the other's a good throwing quarterback. What do? You know, he's got a fine line to walk, but I think it's Lemmy's to keep until Dalton proves him different. And Dalton will try.
Dalton will try.
Prove it different that he should be there.
So if they both ride 2 bulls on a weekend, and Dalton's cumulative is 2 points higher than Lemmy's cumulative, what do you do as a coach? Who do you put on the extra outs?
A lot depends on, a lot depends on what bull it is.
Okay, yeah.
There's your first go. But they both ride the same bulls very well.
Right.
So that kind of eliminates that.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Left-handed bulls, they both ride very good.
Puts the coach in a tough spot.
Now, if it goes to the right, you put Lemmy on it.
Yeah. Okay.
If not, you probably still put Lemmy on.
Okay.
Because he's your star.
Okay.
But if he's hurt at all, if he stubbed his toe, put him to the sidelines. And let Dalton get on.
Keep him healthy.
Do you think these conversations are taking place? Do you think these conversations are going to be part of future contract negotiations?
I don't think the conversations are taking place. I think they are in the coach's head taking place.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's got to where, you know, there any conflict there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't see that. You know, I just can't see that happening. Lemmy's a star, and Dalton, he's just got a job to do to prove he can win the 100,000.
Yep.
And he's only 1 bull behind.
Yeah, 1 bull behind. Absolutely. All right. How is, bring us up to speed on Raymond, Eli, Call, where are they at? Are they up here this weekend?
Raymond's coming this weekend.
He will. Okay.
Yeah, he'll be here riding tomorrow.
Okay.
And Eli was coming, but he hurt his neck. Got piled up in the fence. And
Bronc riding?
Yeah.
Really?
Whistle blew, and I don't know what he was thinking. He sent me the video, and it just wasn't good.
It got off on the fence? What did he? No?
The horse ducked out and went the other way, and it just
left him
his
behind.
Heels and
really,
right on the top of his head, and it wasn't good.
Been to the doctor?
Yeah, they actually took him to the hospital that night and did a CAT scan or something of his chest or something. But his fingers are numb.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of, after 2 neck operations, so I kept going through there. I said, is this, can you breathe good if you really exert yourself? Do you breathe good? Did you have trouble breathing when you left there? I said, can you button your shirts?
Yeah.
We went over a whole aspect. Does it feel like sharp pain sticking you in the back? And it wasn't all there. But I said, well, give it 2 weeks and you better go get an MRI of it.
Okay. Because they haven't isolated which vertebra might be.
No, nothing.
Nothing.
He's Amish. He's tough and he wants to just go.
I know. But
when you can't button your shirts and it's frustrating. So
hard to hold a bronc rein when you can't button your shirt.
He actually got on horses last week.
Really? After the injury?
After the injury, and he said it ripped the rein out of his hand twice.
Yeah.
And then he got on one right-handed.
Oh,
he said it just didn't feel right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
in our big discussion, he wanted to come up. I said, why?
Yeah.
If you can't ride,
Yeah.
you're not going to win. So
Yeah.
why even do it?
Why even come up? Yeah.
And I think he's going to listen to me.
Okay.
I know he is, because we were in there when he called the turnout.
He turned out. Okay. And do you know what Bronk Raymond's getting on?
No.
Okay. Well, we should find that out. So for our show tomorrow, maybe we can bring our listeners up to speed. And then Call Renfola. You showed me a picture. My goodness, you talk about form, toes turned out. I read on Facebook, and you can believe everything you read online. I read on Facebook he won 3 out of 5 rodeos in Florida and placed at the other 2.
Yeah, he had a good week in Florida. He sent me a video. He was 85 on one and 82 on another, and just made some good solid rides. Looked really good. He's riding. It's coming around.
You bet. Absolutely. He looks great. And then Colton, what do you hear about Colton?
Oh, Colton is he's back at Dalen's today.
He is. Okay.
So he's coming home and riding horses and getting ready for the future. And yeah, I was thinking about, you asked me, and I said something about Dalen here. I didn't say anything about Colton. Colton made the steer wrestling short go here, and I don't know if he made the calf rope and short go. But I think
very nice. Okay.
But,
how old was he when he did that?
He was probably 18.
Oh, my goodness.
17.
Okay.
And when they did Midnight Rodeo here, I had to take him to the camp.
So we're going to hear about, I wasn't here for the Midnight Rodeo. That was the 50th, I believe. Would that be right, math-wise?
I think so.
Yeah. And it sounds like quite a party.
The 45th was the one that,
Oh, the
they
40.
were pretty young then.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
that's
They
when I
definitely had to go to the trailer that
they,
night.
They went to the trailer. And I actually stayed there and made sure they stayed there. And I so wanted to come up and watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's been a hoot. I'm excited about being in the studio here. I'm excited about Max joining us and
I'm
host of the
excited
podcast.
being here too. I'm
And-
excited.
and-
Thanks, guys.
And host of the podcast, Grange Rodeomax.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes, sir.
what's your typical opening in French? And invite your French-speaking friends to listen to our podcast, Beyond the Chutes.
Yeah, you want me to say it in French?
Please.
Donc, bonjour tout le monde. J'espère que vous allez écouter Beyond the Chutes. J'ai rencontré Doug, j'ai rencontré Sam. Je suis vraiment content. C'était vraiment intéressant. Puis, j'espère que vous allez apprécier le podcast.
Thank you.
Yeah, what he said.
What he said. And this is good. So we got tonight's performance. We're going to be doing that. And then we're back in the studio tomorrow. We've got Sylvain Bourgeois, the director of the rodeo here, the Festival Western St-Tite. Excited about that. And thank you, guys. This has been a really nice, Max. Really
It was
enjoy.
cool. It was cool. Nice to meet you actually just before the podcast, but I had fun on this interview. It was cool talking and hearing Sam talk about his insight on PBR and everything.
Yeah. Rodeo legend, Sam Swearingen. All right. So we hope that you enjoy our podcast as much as we enjoy doing it. If you do, please share it with your friends. Facebook, Instagram, however you get it out there. Help us spread the word. Help someone find it on their phone. Help them find on Spotify, Apple Podcast. We're on rss.com. You can find us on BeyondTheChutes.show. We've got a Facebook page, and reminder, check out the New York State Rodeo Museum Facebook group page and become a member. All kinds of great things up there, pictures and memories and stories, and they are the impetus of us doing this show. And we'd like to say thank you to ParaSight Systems for their support with our podcast and the new shirt, Sam. Very, very nice. ParaSight System is a push-button parasitic diagnostic system for pastoral animals, horses, cattle, goats, sheep, chickens, and for companion animals, your dogs and your cats. You can find them at ParaSightSystems.com. They now offer testing here in Canada. And remember our code BTC023 for 50% off your kit. This is Beyond the Chutes. Until next time, this is Doug Simcox.
Sam Swearingen.
Max Dostie.
Thank you for listening.